Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry Ramage, managing broker at RE/MAX Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week. Well, good morning, Monday.
I will tell you this, so you know, and I think it's on your end, but I'm not sure, but the video is a little spotty. It's kind of going in and out. You're getting frozen and unfrozen, but you're not frozen now because I can see your eyes blinking.
I know. They're in the middle of putting the fiber.
Oh.
Which will be awesome. But with the trees, my Google Mesh breaking thingy, or I don't know, it stopped working. So I need to bring one in, and the trees over, growing up again. Like, oh crap.
It's that time of year. Oh my goodness. Yes. I told you, whoops. Like I told you, it's hot. It's hot here. The trees are blooming. The humidity is out. And
I have that. It's a beautiful 70.
Nice.
It's rain this week, but it's been nice. I mean, if you ask a Tennessean, they're going to think it's like Florida, but it's totally not.
We were supposed to get all sorts of rain and bad weather from the storm. Saturday was not great, but that gave me the opportunity to come to the office and clean my office. You can't see it because this is the clean part, but the other part is all clean, so that's exciting. Almost all clean anyway. I got a few more things to do this morning, but other than that, Peggy looked at the trash can and she said, "Oh my goodness, you've cleaned your office over the weekend, didn't you?" I sure did. I said, "I'll take the trash out later," because I didn't want to take it out in the rain.
My big thing was yesterday getting a call from our neighbor that our cat that has been missing for 2 weeks was 2 doors down.
Oh, so you got her back?
Yes, but of course I got another cat.
I thought so. I was confused when I saw
I got another cat because I hated seeing all the cat stuff everywhere. And
oh my gosh, you're so
my heart was just breaking. And we thought, well, for sure. I mean, I've got like all the stuff outside so she could smell her way home. And I don't know. We just figured somebody else was, now
enjoying her. Wow.
Yes. Okay. So now we had just got done with all the intros with the dog. So the kitten, we had just that morning moved all of her stuff out of Jessica's room because everything was all good.
Right.
And now we're learning cat introductions.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing for sure.
Yeah. So yesterday was spent, after doing some housework, was spent watching that Hellcat or whatever with the cat daddy or whatever.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
That's what we spent. That's what we did all day. I think we watched 3 seasons trying to there was a lot of noises we have never heard from any cat before.
That's great.
Didn't know cats growled. So.
Oh my goodness.
Had to go and get all this extra stuff and toys and extra litter boxes. And oh my gosh. And Leo, of course, who's not a cat person and they all love him.
Of course they do.
Is just like 2 cats for real.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
But yet they sleep on his legs. Like they just love on him because he's not a cat person.
Right. That's always the way. My cats used to love to, when my mother would come over, sit in her lap, and she was not a cat person either. So, oh well.
So that's going to be our, I guess our week.
Well, and our week is the mid-year review. I can't even believe it.
It seems so crazy. This year has kind of flown by. The last couple years have just been
I
a
feel like
little
we say that
crazy.
every year. Like every year we're like, how did this happen?
Well, and it's interesting because I have been like reflecting on different things, and I feel maybe not where doing all of the things that I wanted to do. But then again, I did my business plan before I tore my ACL, before
Right.
that surgery, before all of, never having been sick before. I had no idea what a recovery, or I don't know.
Right. You didn't
So,
know what to expect.
so
Yeah.
in spite of all that, I feel I'm doing great, still better than last year. Better systems and stuff like that. So I still feel I've got stuff accomplished, even though, I had never worked from my laptop, and I've done a lot of that this
Right.
year. So,
Right. So that just means you're more mobile than you ever thought you were, I guess.
yep. And I did that last week. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been trying to see my mom for like 6 months, and it's just always something, right?
Right.
Surgery, can't walk, whatever. And
Right. Right.
so
So
I
good.
saw I had nothing on, like no appointments, which never, ever, ever, ever happens.
So that's
So,
awesome. So
so
that
I
gave
emailed my mom at 6 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing this week?
awesome.
And I planned on going Thursday, and then I saw it was rain, and we have the top off the Jeep. So I was like, nope, I guess I'm gonna see you in a couple hours. I'm going today. See you in a couple hours. Okay, cool.
Oh goodness.
So
So get your books out. If you have your book, and I have to apologize because my book is sitting at home on my desk at home. So this is just a spare copy. But get your business planning book out, and it's time to do the recap. You know, halfway through the year, we want to look at your numbers. We want to see where you are. But I'm just going to start at the beginning of the book real quick and say, take a look at what your personal and your professional vision was for this year, and see if you are on track with that. If you need to make any adjustments, make an adjustment, or maybe you need to reel yourself back in and focus on what your vision was, right? So if you've gotten off track, and I'll be honest, I personally have gotten off track. Uh,
life happens.
yeah,
And that is part of, I mean, that's the one thing that's kind of like makes these like a blessing in disguise, is because you have all of your goals and how you're going to get there. So it's like you have your goals, and then we work backwards. How do we make that happen? And that's the great thing about these. And don't just do it, forget it, set it aside, lose it. It's a matter of actually looking at back at this, and it's almost because it allows you to get back on track. And a
exactly.
lot of times things happen, there's shifts, there's this and that, and we have to make little tweaks to get there. It's not like just because we wrote that down, that's what we have to do. You're going to tweak it along the way, and that's why you need to review this quarterly,
Right,
really,
for
just
sure.
to keep you on track, keep you motivated, understanding your whys. Because this entire book, it's all about it's just that full picture.
Right, exactly. So one of my things for this year was to be more organized, and I tend to be an organized person, and I don't really like clutter, and I don't like things being out of place because it throws me out of sorts. I used to always do this thing when I used to share the office with my old team. We had an extra desk, and once a week I would take my purse and dump it out and clean out my purse. Right. So I had breakfast with Karen Biamonte the other day, and I was like, oh, I am in dire need of a purse clean out. I haven't done it in a month. But one of the things that I did over the weekend, which I don't know why I hadn't done it, is I finally organized all my apps on my phone so that what's on the first page is what I use the most. The very next page is everything real estate. And then the very next page is kind of everything motivational. And then I have all the shopping apps.
Those
And
I wish I need
more
to
shopping.
remove, or they need to have some complicated task for me to complete before I get to use them.
So I removed a bunch of ones, and so I'm super excited about that. That hopefully, like I said, when I'm not organized, it kind of paralyzes me. So I took this weekend to organize my office. I started to organize some of my personal, um, and then I feel like I can kind of get back on track with what I wanted to do this year.
Well, that makes it a lot. Organization to me is my systems and that I have in place to keep for time management and
Mhm.
everything else. I mean, that's crucial because if you don't have that, basically, if it's not on my calendar, it's not going to get done. And I use
Right.
Asana for all of my tasks and being able to check it off and really just kind of using that every morning as I'm drinking my coffee just to kind of plan my day. What's, what appointments do I have? What do I need to get organized? And I mean, from the newsletter to anything,
Right.
everything is on my calendars and my tasks. And if it's not there, it won't get done.
Yeah, everything is scheduled and tasked. Even that, like a lot of times I went through this morning because I made a couple of appointments, just things, Gavin needs a haircut. I'm doing this over the weekend. I'm doing that in 2 weeks. And I went through this morning and went through all my texts to make sure those events made it onto my calendar. So, keeping it scheduled, keeping it programmed, keeping a checklist. If you're not doing that, start now at the 6-month checkup. Now is the time to get yourself organized because that which is planned gets done.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
That's
and that's
scheduled.
I have to live by that. I have even my personal time. I have everything is calendar blocked
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's what I live much better that way.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Me too. So then the next thing we do is our vision boards, and I actually cleaned up my desktop at the office over the weekend as well. Made sure my vision board was the first thing I see when I come into the office, which gives me, a great opportunity right now to look at my vision board, see where I am, see how much I need to work on because there's a lot of that
It's
on the
funny
vision board
because
I haven't
last
done yet.
year I feel I had everything done on my vision board within the first 3 months. This year, not so much.
Right.
And of
Right.
course, I contribute a lot of that. That first quarter was really, between surgery and physical therapy and stuff like that. But it's time. It's like, okay, girl, now that's no longer an excuse. You're now halfway through. It's no longer the first quarter where you had, a lot of time was dedicated to, physical therapy and stuff like that. So now I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
better get busy.
Well, and even like I was looking at my banking the other day, and COVID, we've talked about this. This was for you and for me. We canceled so many things we weren't using because we weren't going out and having all the meals out, or just going out. The spending got less. Well, now this year we're kind of back into the norm. And I was looking at my spending, and I'm like, oh, I need to reel that back in too. You know?
Yeah, we've been lucky because there's only one place that delivers, and we weren't like super excited about them. So we didn't use that. And I think probably like a month or so ago, we were just like, okay, yeah, I haven't gone grocery shop, I haven't done anything, whatever was going on. So we ordered, and their menu has somewhat changed. And we always have done wings was always like our thing.
Uh-huh.
And we would go out. So we really only go out once a week. But now that we delivered, and it's like, oh my gosh, like they have the best wings. And I'm like, crap.
now instead of going out,
Because it makes it so easy when you can have stuff delivered.
right? Well, I mean, for years I've been going to the grocery store, pulling up, opening the trunk. They put the groceries in my trunk. Well, now I've resorted to delivery, so I'm not even going to the grocery store anymore.
No, and I haven't in years. And now I'm like, okay, I may have to because they never have what I want. And Leo's like, we'll go to the other place. And I'm like, but they don't deliver. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I may have to
So
go because, it really like, come on, what do you mean you don't have my brand of hot dogs? Like, come on, and they'll send a picture and there's nothing in the meat section. So I'm like, now it's a matter of I have to find the right day because apparently I have the wrong day.
for the
The right
deliveries.
day to have my food because it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So I'm like, but I feel I save so much money by not going
Right.
because I end up with all this,
Extra stuff that you pulled off the shelf. Sure.
yeah, I spend 3 times more if I physically go than if I just use the app and get what I get.
Right. Right.
So I happily pay a very good tip. And my last driver, it was funny because he was from Florida because he busted his tire on my road, which I've replaced. I think everybody's replaced all tires on their cars from the crazy roads. And I was telling him, I was like, oh, what part of Florida? And I told him, and then he's from Broward. And
Oh,
then we got to talking, when he when my husband, was vested or whatever. So he was Broward County Fire Department
oh, wow.
because he showed me his license plate
Wow.
that he hadn't put on his brand new car yet, that he just slid his entire tire.
Right.
Oops. Yep. Yeah. Welcome to my road. Craziness. All right.
So if you've been overspending this year, maybe it's time to curb it. Maybe it's time to even look at any new systems that you've bought that you're using, whether it's lead generation or help with whatever, social media or whatever. Maybe it's time to look at those and see if you need to reconsider those. Are they working or are they not working? Now is a great time to look back at all the deals you've done this year so that at least you're a step ahead for next year's business planning, and make sure you're tracking where those leads are coming from. Are they coming from your network? Are they for sale by owners? Is it from an open house, a sign call, an ad call, some sort of CRM or some sort of lead generation? So take the time now to look over where those closings you've had this year have come from. So, if you need to shift where you're spending some of your money, you can shift it now to increase going forward for the remainder of 2022.
Right. No, that's super important. And then making sure, are you taking that time for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see a lot of that with the chaos. I don't even know what the right word is, but just making sure that you are taking that time for yourself, for your family, even if it's 30 minutes, just something. I mean, we've always kind of had that role where one day on the weekend, like one day a week, we have our time.
Right.
Even if, it wasn't in the mountains this weekend, it was watching Hellcat or whatever that show is, but we're doing it together. That's our role, is whatever it is, at least one day a week, even if it's just for 2 hours, it's something we do together.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. And put your phones away, whatever, even just so that you're focused on what's going on around you.
Being in the moment, because it's so easy to get distracted, especially by a phone.
Yeah. So I downloaded probably a year and a half ago the Calm app. And so in my reorganization of my phone, I put this on page 1. And I've set the alarm for every day at 3:00. I'm going to do 5 minutes of meditation so I can get refocused and recentered and be cleared to finish out the rest of the day. I'll let you guys know in a few weeks how that's working for me.
I get in the zone of work and I'm just like pounding it. Me, my zone is in the morning when I get so much done.
Well, I think for me, I do more in the morning, and then by 2 or 3 o'clock, I kind of lose my steam. And I always kind of have this thing at like 5 o'clock. Oh my God, the day's over. Can't do anything else. But I need to, and not necessarily keep working, but it'll keep me clear for when I get home, cooking dinner, being with the family. So I'm more focused then.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because I think by 3, that's kind of like my quitting time, but I'm usually working by 5:30 in the morning.
Right.
And I take my lunch, and then, Leo gets home at 4, so that's when I'm starting to cook dinner. So my problem is just to stay up because I'm like, my brain is like, I could be doing so much work, and I'm watching this really stupid TV show.
And you're kind of shutting down, which is kind of why I thought that 3 o'clock might be a good time for me. I don't know.
It's hard because my brain is thinking of the stupidness that I'm doing when I could be being productive, but it's not stupidness. It's trying to be in the moment, whatever. I don't know.
Right.
That's hard for me, especially when I have so many things I could be doing that are kind of work related. And that's where it's hard when you love what you do, because
Right.
it's not really work. Like that's creative and, so
Right.
that gets hard for me.
Right.
So,
So I
yep,
would say to get out this page
yep.
and make, kind of look at, do hashtags or do something next to what you did for last year and see where you are, maybe make another column in here so you have, what you did in 2021 and what you've done so far for the first half of 2022 so you can track it more easily.
Yeah, it's all about going through all of these. Where did you want to be? What were your goals? What can we tweak right now that's going to make a difference for the remainder of this, of the year?
Right.
What have you not done? What did you say you were going to do that you haven't done yet? All of that fun stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the 10 things that you're going to do consistently. Have you been doing them? Take a peek at that. Is there something you put on the list that you just decided, this isn't working for me? Sorry, I have a hair on my face. This isn't working for me. What can I do different? What can I change up? What can I try that's different? Because these 10 things, only 7 are working or only 8 are working. So maybe it's time to take a checkup at that and reconsider what's working for you and what's not working.
And that's okay, because that's where we kind of learn. We may have a brilliant idea because it was at a conference or something like that, and you want to try it, but it's just not jiving with your business or whatnot. And that's okay. That's what this is all about, is tweaking. It's definitely always good to kind of step out of for me, it was almost on there just to try Reels or TikTok or whatever, but and it's blowing my mind and it's getting me excited over the amount of views and all the different ways that I can do it, because I didn't want to be dancing or that to me is just not who I am. It's not where I wanted to go. So I put it on there just to try, think outside the box. And I am having the best time, learning. So I did it, of course, with kind of my adventures, just to figure things out. And how do you do this and transitions and stuff. And now I'm able to bring that in more on a business scale and doing like real estate tips for the office and stuff like that. And then for agents, like making little videos. And there's so many different ways I can do it without me being silly, because that's not where I wanted to go. But the views are blowing. Right. I mean, it's blowing my mind.
Are they really? Wow.
And it doesn't make any sense to me at all. At all. So still figuring that out. But on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, it could be the exact same video that I do it organically in each one, because that's what they like. It could be the exact same one. And on one, I may have 200 views, the other one 7,000, and the other one's 2,000.
Wow.
So, and it's not always
consistent, or is it not? There's no rhyme or reason.
No rhyme or reason whatsoever, because it's not always, TikTok is lower than Instagram. Instagram seems to be more consistently higher, and it doesn't seem to matter if I'm doing hashtags or not. So I'm having actually a good time playing with all of that. I was, and it was one of those things, like I kind of forced myself to do it.
Right.
No, I need to, but I wasn't sure how that would work out. But I'm actually having a ton of fun figuring all of that out and learning. And I'm like, okay, I can see this can be quite addicting.
So there's something, if you haven't tried TikTok and you're looking at something that you might want to start trying consistently, maybe that's the thing, I don't know. I
try it. And I didn't do it with me in them, because I just went to my camera reel and found every single, horizontal video, vertical video I could find, and put them in a photo album. And then I just started playing with them, because there's so many videos of the area, sunsets, whatever, just like you would have.
Right.
So it's like, now I'm like, okay, every time I do a video, I'm doing it every which way there is.
Yeah, that is one of the things that this year I said I was going to work better on, is Instagram, maybe learning TikTok or looking at TikTok. I did I don't know if it was yesterday or Saturday, I pulled up TikTok and I followed some more people. My one of my friends, Christy Patchins, had done a TikTok video that it was on Facebook. So I clicked Facebook. I mean, I clicked on it and then it brings you to TikTok. So then then I had this list of people, you should follow this person or you should follow that person. So I followed some people. Now I just have to be more consistent watching it. But I'm afraid of that rabbit hole.
No, because that's my biggest thing, is it's such a time sucker. So for me, it's like, okay, if we're watching stupid TV, he's always on TikTok. So I just go on TikTok. But mine is more researching, because the hardest part I have had so far, trying to do it like on an office level or even agent level, is the music. Like what music is appropriate for like a listing or for tips.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's like finding good music to save so that I can use that, because so many of them are dance or have words or that are not appropriate for that kind of stuff.
Right.
So now it's research, trying to, organize and find what are other offices kind of doing. So on The Office, I'm following a lot of more of the content creators on that level. So
Gotcha.
So I at least feel I'm being productive doing research.
That's something that
stuck in the rabbit hole.
The appropriate music. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I was trying to do it for the awards and I just couldn't find something that was going to work very well.
Right. Yeah. Well, music. I'm going to sound like my parents. The music today.
That's what I was thinking when I'm trying to do that, and it wouldn't let me do a search. I have to save everything, and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. And I'm horrible when it comes to music and artists and anyway. So I've never been good at that. Oh, do you know this artist? No, I don't know. I'm sure I've heard of their songs, whatever.
Right, but I don't know what their name is.
I don't know. Yeah. I've heard the name, but I have no idea what they sing. Sorry.
Here's another thing to look at: your routine. Did you schedule a routine, and are you sticking to it? So I will tell you, I have not, and I'm trying to get back on the bandwagon as of this morning, and getting up and doing what I need. I do some of it, but I'm not doing all of what I want to do.
I'm trying to add the exercise into my morning routine.
Yeah, that's the kicker right there, is the exercise. Because if I don't do it in the morning, I don't want to do it when I get home. But maybe with this meditation at 3:00, maybe by the time I get home, I'll want to exercise.
For me, it's I love my power hour. I don't want to do it first thing in the morning because I get so much done, my 6 to 9. So I am thinking I may do it at the 9 o'clock and just at least do 30 minutes to start between 8:30 and 9.
Yeah, one of my friends does it then, where she does it from 9 until 10, which, because you get up early, you're doing emails, you're answering the emails, and maybe you take a break from that and you go, walk or lift some weights or ride a Peloton.
I subscribe to the Beach Body or something like that. So I just plan on doing it right in my living room. I've got all the weights. I've got all the band. I've got everything. I just seem to keep finding excuses. So that's my biggest thing. So now I have no more excuses. And at least I was doing physical therapy, and I'm a competitive person. So by having the watch and I want to have a mini competition with my own self.
With yourself. Yeah.
And just kind of look in the mirror. That's your competition, and just compete with myself. And a lot of that was going to my mom's, and then she does a walk every single morning with her neighbor at 8 o'clock every morning. So Monday through Friday. So she's like, oh, do you want to go for a walk? I'm like, sure. Well, I forgot, my mom used to kick my butt in her step aerobics class.
Right. I was about to say, your mom is fit.
Yeah. So, I haven't really walked that much other than physical therapy, and they walk really fast. And I'm just thinking they're kind of going around the block. No, it was 6 miles.
Oh, wow.
They walk really fast.
Oh, I'm not a fast walker.
And I was in flip-flops, and I think I got blisters and all that fun stuff. So luckily I had a lot of work to do Friday morning, and I passed. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I'm really out of shape. I wasn't expecting a 6-mile walk, and it's hills.
Right.
So I was like, oh, yeah, my knee can still feel that right now. Yep. So
Oh,
exercise is my,
is your thing
yeah, it's
to
definitely something I need to, not just want to. It is something, hopefully by our fall, I'll have had a routine that I've set up and now I can't live without it. That's what my goal is right now.
right?
Telling the world, that's my goal right now, is by our last quarter checkup, that's going to be in there.
All right, good. So get out your numbers, see who you've sold to, where they came from, uh, what's not working, what is working. Make sure you're looking at your scheduling and tighten that up if you need to. If your spending has gotten out of control, take a peek at that and reel that back in, and that way you can be successful for the next 6 months of 2022.
Yes, and we can't wait to hear what adjustments you end up making sure that you are. And I know on our website we probably have this to download if you didn't do that with us. But make sure to go through make those tweaks that you need to, of this year. We still have 6 months, so hopefully, I guess it'll probably fly by just as fast as the first 6 months did, which seems crazy.
Exactly.
But I think, yeah, it'll be interesting with summer and whatever's going on with the market. It's, that's the great thing about real estate. It's always changing.
Right. And welcome, Janine. Thanks for watching. And that's just a reminder, if you don't join us when we start at 9:30, there's always the replay. You can download our podcast. You can find it on our Facebook page, Monday Morning Wake Up Call. So plenty of places to see what we're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what's our weekly activity?
Well, try and find some reasons to laugh this week. They always say a good belly laugh is good for the soul. Be that person who finds the positivity in the conversation, and then act by sending something smile worthy to 5 of your contacts.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And then the words of wisdom is, a smile is a curve that sets everything straight.
Yeah, that's good. Oh,
Play on words there.
There you go.
I just thought that I love my smile. So smile therapy. I like seeing what happens when I just put a smile on there. Hi, Diane.
Hey,
So that's
Diane.
great. So we've got some great shows coming up. Make sure join MondayMorningWakeUpCall.com. Find all of our past, watch anything, and then we will see everyone next Monday. Until then, wake up, kick ass, and repeat. Bye, everyone.